Hello again, welcome back. Since I just talked about Bresson, let's talk about Brian DePalma. This is my new season for a while. It's DePalma season. I'm going to try and talk about a lot of DePalma films that interest me. I'm not going to talk about every one of them. I may eventually get to every one of them, but I'm not trying to do anything in order. I'm just going to talk about the films as they interest me. And a lot of these films interest me just naturally. So I'm just going to take it more in direction. I'm not doing what Beppu did with the Argento in order. I'm not that kind of person. I don't do well with that kind of order. I do better with talking about things as they occur. So I'm just going to do start with Phantom of the Paradise. One thing I should say before we start is there's a new DePalma series box set of his first early films with De Niro coming out next month by Arrow. I'll be getting them eventually. I've got them all on DVD, but I'd love to have them, good copies of them. But they're great. So I'll be covering those films probably after Christmas. But I'm going to cover Phantom of the Paradise. So Phantom of the Paradise is one of the reasons I've chosen this one. It's one of my favourites of DePalma. This is one of the ones that got me into DePalma because it came on in Channel 4 in UK one time. Well, I was only starting to get an idea of who DePalma was from having seen Carrie and things like that. I knew of him, but I didn't know him that well at that point, really. I didn't know his films too well. I knew of him. It was one of those directors who was one of the movie brats I was getting really interested in. But this was the film that made me start to love his films and made me a rabid fan. I was even on a website, forum thing in the early noughties of about DePalma from about 2002 to 2005 until it shut down. Bill Fenton was the guy who ran it. It was really good. I really enjoyed it because we're talking about the DePalma plus other films coming out at the same time. It was great. So I'm obviously a massive DePalma fan. So that was out when Femme Fatale was coming out and things like that. I'll get to Femme Fatale. Femme Fatale was another favourite of mine. But Phantom of the Paradise, I should really get back to that, right? It's a rock musical taking in elements from Phantom of the Opera, Faust, a whole variety of other stories. I mean, it's postmodern and it's taking all these stories but it's twisting them together. But because it's DePalma, he's twisting them together to show how cynical the entertainment industry is. So he takes what he's doing and then comments what he's doing within the film itself. So it's not just I'm ripping this off, it's like I'm ripping this off and telling him I'm ripping this off for a reason, which is the thing people don't get about DePalma. Especially those Hitchcock bastards who think, oh, he's ripping off Hitchcock. No, he's taking elements of Hitchcock and twisting in his own way. And they're Hitchcock bastards, right? I don't care what the motivation is. DePalma's interesting on his own. You don't need Hitchcock to get DePalma. Right. You might as well just go to war with these fuckers. So yeah, I love DePalma. So he takes all these elements and then does a cynical parody of those elements, but also showing you how horrible the entertainment industry is. So it's about this guy who writes this totally unrealistic but brilliant opera about Faust that will never be made. And he's trying to sell it. He's the pure artist who's so delusional he doesn't realise what he wants to do. He should start small and then work towards that rather than starting with that. He's starting with the most unrealistic plan ever. And of course, Swan is the guy who runs Swan Records, and he's like the guru. He's like the Phil Spector. He's like the guy who finds all the acts and becomes a manager, producer, and he's a genius who manipulates the pop industry. And he hears the song because he's opened up a new place called The Paradise, which is his new swinging place to be for everyone to come to, so it helps him manipulate the music world. So the Phantom gets the guy that's going to be the Phantom. He gets a gig showing off his. He doesn't get a gig. He's allowed to show off his music to Swan. Swan likes it, gives him a contract, then rips him off for the music. So he doesn't want the guy. He just wants the music. He sees the music's good, but he just sees a guy as a writer. So let's get rid of the writer and just keep the music. So the guy gets mad, then gets thrown in jail by Swan, then gets, when he tries to get revenge, he gets his face mangled, and he becomes the Phantom of the Paradise. At the same time, he meets Phoenix, who he falls in love with, who's a singer who's trying to get ahead, the way he was trying to get ahead. She's very talented, but she's not been used properly. Swan and the Phantom decide to join up to create this big opera version of Faust, and of course Swan screws him over again, as he always does. Realises he's in love with Phoenix, seduces Phoenix, makes her a star, gets her in drugs. The Phantom goes mad and all hell breaks loose. That's a basic description of the plot. It's hard to describe that plot because it sounds so ridiculous, but the way it's done, the way the film is done, is so good. It's such a beautiful film. It's so well done. It's lovely. I mean, it's so cynical. I mean, there's jokes about everyone. Everyone kind of gets it. There's a character called Beef who's this like rock and roll, this like animalistic singer who's just crazy. He's just crazy. He's gay, he's crazy, he's on all sorts of drugs, and he gets electrocuted by the Phantom because he's the one who's chosen to sing the songs originally by Swan. Phantom goes mad and kills him. There's this band called the Juicy Fruits, who are this Beach Boys type of singers who do these pop songs, and of course all the subject matter of the songs are like about suicide and just like the subject matter to a lot of these songs are really satirical. Paul Williams, who plays Swan, wrote the songs, and the songs are hilarious. And the whole atmosphere is this, like, it's like you're being in hell almost, but it's like a pop version of hell where everyone's happy. They don't realise they're in hell. So everything's always interesting, the visuals are always interesting, and people are getting more and more morally compromised. And it's like, hey, it's okay, you're getting paid. So it's the most anti-capitalist movie ever, which is also, because it shows how horrible people can be messed around by capitalism and by people who use capitalism for power base. But also it's like, hey, it's okay, you might get rich. You know, you could be the next star. And we're not going to tell you what could happen to you if you do that. And don't read the contracts. Do not read the contracts. That's the whole point of the movie. Do not read the contracts. And it's just so funny. The whole film is full of weird lines about bribing judges and the most horribly compromised things. People they're planning on stage assassinations to boost their ratings. They're doing everything to become the next pop sensation or to extend their lives as the next pop sensation. They've lost all morality. Anybody who comes in with an ounce of morality gets sucked in and gets destroyed instantly. And even the people who started off with pure instincts, like Winslow Leach, who was the original singer, and I forgot his name, the other one, I can't remember his name. And then there's also Phoenix. They start off with good intentions and they get totally destroyed instantly. I mean, especially Winslow, he starts off with the purest of intentions, completely unrealistic, and he becomes a mad psychopath killing people all over the place. And Phoenix becomes totally compromised. But you still feel affection for them. You know, and it turns out Swan sold his soul to the devil because he can't stand the thought of getting old, which is like the great metaphor for anybody in the entertainment industry. You know, and this was made in the 70s before that thing became prevalent in the 80s, where everyone was doing plastic surgery and very, very paranoid. This was the 70s they're doing this, and it was like, okay, this is the future. I mean, the Rocky Horror was became like the big cult film cult musical film, but this is the better this is the better film. This is the one with depth to it. This is the one with real ideas, but it's also so much fun because the songs are great, the atmosphere is great. I mean, you really feel in a rock concert a lot of the time. If you do like a musical number, they really play up the theatricality. In fact, you are there in this horrible hell, but it's toe tapping hell. It's brilliant. It's such a beautiful film, but it's so horrible at the same time because what's going on is so horrible, but it's done in such a loving manner. It's like they're really enjoying showing how compromised things can get, because it's the only way to do it. If you just do it in a very drudge way, like, you will be compromised, no one will pay attention. But if you get people's attention by making it fun and then slowly slipping in the reality as the twists come and everything gets worse and worse, you can't help but not see what's going on. So it's wonderful. I mean, it's less obvious to stylised than some of De Palma's later films when he had more money to spend. He could set up shots in unique ways. This is much more, feels much more handheld, like he's got limitations. He has to shoot sometimes probably ways he probably wouldn't want to, but he does a great job of it. The energy's always there. There's always these tracking shots and split screens, and everything that's excessive in style is done for a reason. It creates a world, and it creates a reality that you can get sucked into. But it's also got a brain behind it, so you can always step back and see what's actually going on. But it pulls you in both directions. It pulls you in to get sucked into this, so you see why it's seductive, but also it pulls you back to say, you shouldn't do this. This is not a good idea. So it's a wonderful film. Go see it. Arrow's got a release of it. I think there's variety. It's one of those cult films. In the UK, Arrow's got it. I think someone's done it in America as well. You should be able to find it easily. It's one to see. It's one to have a copy of, because it's a beautiful film that, you know, is all about selling your soul to the devil. What could be more fun than that? Okay, well, that's the first of my De Palma season. I did one a while ago with Mission to Mars, which is also up in Beautiful Disasters. I don't know what's next. I'll do one next week. I haven't decided which one I'm going to do yet, but I'm going to take it week to week and just do whatever ones I feel like doing, the ones I feel like talking about. Try to keep it fresh. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that. I'll be back soon.